everyone, it's Dev, and we're back with more season 3 of Emo Girl's Guide. So, if you're a salty emo, if you're tired of the patriarchy, or if you just want to hear us rant about the world and books and anime and music, you've come to the right place. So welcome.
Welcome. How's it going, Dev?
It's going good. How are you? Not much of an update since last time. It's the beginning of the year. Not too much has been going on, just trying to stick with my reading. I'm aiming for 50 books this year. I didn't hit it last year because
Ambitious.
yeah. But what about you?
I aimed for 30 and I got to 44, which was pretty good to me. I'm the slowest reader on the planet, but
We switched roles last year, I think.
we
So we'll
did,
see
yeah.
how the year goes.
It comes in waves. I don't think that's weird. I think most people do, but I did pretty good last year. I'm good. Yeah. I some of my friends formed a book club, and the first book club pick that we chose before all of this recent drama happened with Rebecca Yaras, was the infamous Fourth Wing. And I'm in the middle of reading it now, and it's interesting. I don't know. I know that her husband is in the military, I think, and it's
Mhm.
very evident reading this. And I read the beginning of it and I was like, this is just literally Divergent, but with dragons. And I could place each person too. Like, you're Peter, you're Christina,
Mhm.
I don't know, it was weird. And then the dragons happened, and I'm kind of getting more into it now, but I don't understand. I don't understand. This is like the most hype book I've experienced since like Twilight, and I kind of don't get it, but
Well, we'll hear
it's
more about your
interesting.
thoughts when you finish. I still have yet to read it. I don't know if I will ever get to it, but I think I have to eventually just to see what everyone's talking about. I know that um
That's kind
there's
of
some
I
controversy around her and her husband and the war in
um
Gaza and all
I've
of
heard a
their
lot about how her pronunciation video that blew up,
Oh, yes, I have seen stuff on this as
which was
well.
awful. And so I don't know. I'm taking everything with, like, I'm not super into it because now it's kind of tainted it for me. So now I'm like, ugh. But
Yes, I feel like this actually lends itself into like the topic or one of the
it
topics
does, yeah.
today because everybody was so hyped over that first book that they like fast tracked book 2 and then again, I haven't read them, but just from what I've seen online, everybody seems to be hating on book 2
Yeah, I
because they're
have
like
not heard good
how
things.
like was the story what's going on? And so I think that we can just kind of roll right into the topic for today, which is like, are we just over life or is just the book industry as a whole going down? Are we just tired of everything? Do we have reader fatigue, special edition fatigue, influencer fatigue? Like, this just, it's a
Yeah.
lot. There's a lot going on all at once. And I just want it to be more like, hey, I want to pick this book up. I can find the same special edition at every single store.
The special
I'm gonna
edition
go get
fatigue is
it.
real, and I'm so tired, y'all. I am exhausted. In all caps, I literally wrote down, why are there so many subscriptions and special editions? I'm tired and I have no money.
I think that can go just for the world in general. I'm tired. I have no money, and I just want to
Please stop
find the
trying to
right
take
thing.
it. I don't even have any.
We're starting the year off great. But anyway, we're going to be recapping some of the big ticket items in the book world over the past few years. Hopefully, the more recent
Notable
stuff
book
are,
drama.
yeah, book drama and how it's been affecting the book community and what we think about it. And we're hoping that this will be kind of the template for our monthly updates moving forward. What's going on with the book world? And so, yeah, we just wanted to go through some of our favorites that are just notable to us and talk about how it's been affecting the community as a whole, what our opinions are, leave space for you to comment and leave your opinions on things because obviously we want discourse and we want to hear what you think. So, we'll just jump right in. You want me
Yeah,
to start? You want to start?
we got a lot of random shit. I just went in here and I wrote the most random thoughts in my
Should
mind.
we just start with the special editions? I feel like that's a good place
I
to
mean, yeah,
just that
we're already here.
everyone can relate to. We already let's go with the funny.
This
We'll just
also kind of goes with the Fourth Wing thing because I
yes.
feel like Red Tower Books came in and they were like sprayed edges. You have to get the first edition to get the sprayed edges, and now
Yep.
it's like, but they're also trying to fast track everything, and it's caused all of these effing problems with all of their books. And it's
Yep.
just, it's. I'm so tired. I'm just so
And then
tired.
there are like several special editions of Fourth Wing now. Like there's the holiday edition, which
Uh
I'm
huh.
like, okay. There are all of the book box editions, like the Fairy Loot edition. There's I
All
don't
of
even
them have
know
done it. Yeah.
so many different editions. And I saw a video the other day of somebody being like, when you have 7 special editions of book 1, but then you hated book 2, and it's like
Oh
that's
no.
why you wait to make the special editions until after the whole series is out and you wait to see if it's still as loved
Yeah.
after it's finished.
I only go really crazy on books that I know that I like. Like I went nuts on Raven Boys.
Me too.
I've gone nuts on oh my god. I just completely forgot the book. V.E. Schwab. Shades of Magic, I
Oh,
think.
yeah, yeah. I, as you can tell, go crazy for Shadowhunters because tried and
Shadowhunters.
true.
I have
Cassie Clare
several
is my
editions of
girl.
those. Hmm.
Um, I also have the special edition Raven Boys, and I gifted my old set, at least books 2 through 4, because my first book is signed.
Oh yeah, I have
But
signed
I gave
paperbacks.
2 through 4 to my sister, and then I have special edition Percy Jacksons, and I have
Like
um
I'll shell out money for things that I know that I'll appreciate. But gee, oh my
yes,
god.
just my favorites, but they it gets too much. Like I don't need
Can we
7
talk
editions of the same one book. Like I just really want a very nice pretty set from the beginning. Why can't we just get that? Like why
Yeah,
it's
or
just
wait until the series is over or something. Like
y-
the way we had to coordinate for Crescent City, the new Crescent City, because
oh
they're
my
all
god.
releasing
The
different.
special editions with
What
like
the
the
can we not?
exclusive chapters. I cannot stand that. Give
Can
me
we just put
one
the
exclusive
exclusive?
chapter.
Yes.
The same exclusive chapter and just don't give it to Amazon. Just don't give it to all of the big corporate bookstores. Just give it to the indie bookstores and say the indie bookstores have this exclusive edition and Amazon gets no exclusive edition and
No,
Barnes
Jeffrey
Noble fine you
Bezos.
get something. But like why do I need to collect 7 editions of one book just so I have all of the short stories? They're going to end up
We
online
don't.
anyway.
I
I
know.
will personally scan my pages and put them up so that way somebody out there who doesn't have money doesn't have to spend hundreds of dollars getting all of those short stories. There's
And
no
they
point.
all do it too. They're all like, there's the Waterstone edition and the BAM edition and the, oh my god, the Barnes and Noble edition, and oh my god, I'm so tired. Can we not? And then
It's
that's
too
not
much.
even like the subscription boxes always do a special edition, and I just can't.
And honestly, I feel like social media has played a really big factor in their ability to do that because you want
Absolutely.
to get the clout of having all of these pretty editions for your pictures, which like I've definitely fallen into. And like
Me too.
that's why last year was kind of off for me because I like valued my Instagram page so much and then it just started going downhill because of the algorithm or because I was black, whatever the reason. Was I
Hmm.
blacklisted? Maybe. I don't know. But like I was losing followers and I just like fell out of love with reading because of social media and I was like this is such BS. Like the
Yeah.
fact that they're making so much money cuz somebody's like, "Oh my god, it's so pretty. I have to get them to show everybody on my Instagram page." Like come on. That's sad. That's depressing. And I was part of the problem. Like I admit, like it got me
I did
too.
that too. Yeah.
Like it's I just
Because you
want
want to
one
get
book.
more followers and you want, I don't know, it starts off genuine and then somewhere down the
Yeah,
line,
you're so excited to like find friends that are
yay, you
readers.
start out and you're like, yay, books. And then somewhere down the line, you're like, I have to get more followers. I need all the special
Yes.
editions. And it like taints it.
Also, Loretta and I met online when we started our book pages, so I'm not
We did.
trashing social media. It does have wonderful, positive things about it, but not
I've met amazing
a
friends.
lot.
Yeah, I'm definitely I don't know, it has its benefits, but
Pros and cons as everything.
I feel like
But
recently it's gone downhill, and I can't tell if that's just me and my personal experience with it or if it's universal, but
I think it's everything. My personal hypothesis, just my perspective based off of everything that's going on, is that all of the social channels are going to try to monetize on as many people as possible because,
oh, for
again,
sure.
influencers has become a thing. Like, we have an influx of micro influencers these days where you're like, I have 10,000 followers, I have 20,000 followers. Like, what's an everybody's an influencer these days. Like, nobody's not an influencer. And
Mhm.
so they're going to try to capitalize on it and put uh pay to play walls in like subtle places. So like they already started. Instagram lets you pay for a blue check mark now.
I was just
Like
gonna say you have to pay for the check mark,
you
so
can pay to be subscribed to people. Like you can pay on TikTok shop. Like I think that they're slowly going to start
mhm.
using that as an incentive to get people to
You'll
like,
get more
oh,
followers
get
if you
yeah,
pay.
get a blue check mark. People
Or
will want to follow
exposure.
you. We'll
Mhm.
give you more exposure. We'll help like, like there's so many different things and they're gonna like filter out the people who care that much versus the people who don't care.
Yeah.
So
That checks out.
trickle down effect,
Because we can't have
and
anything nice.
we're gonna slowly start going back to just like I guess I'm just gonna post whatever I want with what like I'm not gonna put thought into it and just do it for fun and call it a day. And
Yeah.
then eventually we'll go back down to hopefully not a lot of influencers in the world, but that's my guess is that everything is going to be monetized in some way. That's what
Oh,
their
for
goal
sure.
is
I mean, that check
eventually.
capitalism.
Yay, capitalism. But
I did write
anyway,
down I wrote down in my notes. I think it's interesting that all of these subscription boxes and the publishing companies they do this they kind of create volatility in their own market, like everyone's competing for special editions and more followers and stuff, and
yeah.
then when that turns on them they're all like, oh no, what's happened? You created this disaster.
Yes, yes. We're so sorry that this edition has so many typos. We'll fix it
Yeah,
the next
I'm
round.
specifically thinking of Red Tower books and like all of the freaking the mess that Fourth Wing went through. Was it Iron or was it Iron Flame? I don't know. A bunch of them were like misprinted and stuff. I don't know.
Yes, yes, I remember this.
Yeah, but anyway.
I just want to go back to, don't get me wrong. I think that there is a time and a place for fast publishing. Like if you can write a lot of short stories and pump those out however many you want in a year, totally fine. If you're trying to write like a fantasy world and you're trying to be a world builder and have this like very fantastical setting with all these characters, like maybe just take a little bit of time to like if you have an editor, have that person edit your book. Like
Hmm.
if you have
I think,
somebody and a
yeah.
team, like do it well. It doesn't have to be years and years between books, SJM, but like we can, like there could be a little bit more time in between. I know that's like top of mind and they want people like to be excited, but I think that there's compromise in there somewhere.
Yeah, my specific beef is when like the publisher, like if an author is churning out books really fast, that's awesome. Like if that's what you want to do and you can do that, that's amazing. I could never. But if the publishers are like forcing it to get money and then you're getting like less of a great story because you're putting pressure on them, I mean that's fucked up. So, what the
Yeah.
hell? Stop it.
Yeah, it's wild. And all of this because of TikTok and Instagram.
Oh my god, social media.
I love it there. I also hate it there. We have a love-hate relationship.
Me too, yeah.
And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to get into some of the bigger stories because I live for the tea and I was not directly involved in any of this tea. So
That's the
let's
best
start.
kind of tea when it's not your tea.
Okay, we'll start off with the one that I think I just can't get out of my mind. And I don't
I
know
think
what
about this
year.
all the time.
I don't know what year this happened. I need to go back and double check the
I
videos
want to
and
say
the
like 2021 ish.
maybe. I don't know what the timeline is for this, but
It's been a year.
it's
It's been a
It's been
couple
a
years,
while.
I
It's been a
think.
quick minute, but I cannot get over that this was actually a thing, and it just goes to show you that, like, everybody just wants to make money, and people just need to stay in their lanes. If you're not a reader, stay in your lane.
Mhm.
But the wood chopping guy, whose name is Thorin Bradley, he got famous on TikTok
I love that we can
for
say wood
just
chopping guy and most
chopping
everyone
wood.
knows what we're who we're talking about.
Yeah, like, if he would have done something with, like, an axe company or, like, made camping supplies or, like, I don't know,
Completely makes sense.
done something with his wood chopping abilities, like, cool, do that, stay in your lane. But, like, instead of doing that, what did he do? He tried to make an audiobook app with no knowledge. Like,
So random.
you're a wood chopping guy, and you're like, "Hey guys, I'm hot, and I know everybody loves me. Come pay 19.99 a month for my new audiobook app." Like,
Hey, book talk.
please, I hate it so much. So anyway, back in the day, whenever this was, wood chopping guy, Thorne Bradley, and some other well-known audiobook narrator whose name is Chance Terry, who again is like a classically attractive man, I guess, decided to team up with a bunch of authors and create an audiobook app, and they were calling it Verba Inc. And there was obviously some issues that people raised when they announced it because some of the authors were claimed plagiarizers and also very problematic, like Willow Winters. And Willow Winters had a big controversy on TikTok because she was making fun of like SA survivors
Oh my god.
or like telling somebody who like didn't like her books or was
I
giving a
didn't know
bad
about this
review or
part.
whatever, like saying, "I hope you get hit by a bus,"
What?
and was not very apologetic about anything going on. And so people were like, "You're working with Willow Winters, like what's going
Are
on?"
you serious? Yeah.
And they were like, "You're charging 19.99 a month for this, but like what books are you going to have when you first launch for me to spend
Yeah, there was like
$20?"
no information.
Like, what, telling authors like, "Oh yeah, we'll completely make your audiobook, but like you have to give us the rights for 2 years for it to live on the platform and blah blah blah." And people are like, "Okay, well, what, like we need more specifics. Like what does that entail? Like who's going to be making our books? Who's going to be voicing these things, blah blah blah." And so basically what happened is the community banded together and were asking so many questions that they just decided to like
Sort of
disband.
dissolved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just decided not to do it. And the wood chopping guy, I guess, again, because I wasn't necessarily watching it all unfold, but he was also being mean to the community and saying, like, "You all owe me an
Was he?
apology. Like, I'm not gonna back down." And then everything just kind of went off the rails and that just ended. But just this is my problem with the influencer community. Like, stop trying to take advantage of people that you know are so thirsty for your attention and take their money when you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
Also, it goes both ways. Like, I wish the book talk community would be a little less thirsty and realize how much power they have as
Sometimes
a
it's
community
ridiculous. Yeah.
and like not give these people so much attention. Like, you know how much money we could be making if we would just think a little bit harder and not be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna comment on this thirst trap." I'm gonna be like, "Oh, look, it's Tamlin. Oh, look, it's Resend." Don't even give them those opportunities. Like, these are nobodies. You make them popular, and then they go and steal our limelight, and then there's no space for the rest of us. Like,
Mhm.
come on, guys.
Yeah, I feel like the book talk community has a lot of power, which I think companies are slowly realizing to
Yes.
their detriment, to our the book talk community's detriment, because now all these random companies are like, "Oh, hey, we can like
Hey, book talk.
capitalize on book talk."
Ooh,
Yeah.
where's book talk? Look at this.
"Oh, hey, we're here book talk." And it's like,
I
"Oh my
hate
god,
it.
please go away."
I hate it. And also, it turns into
But people
problems because
also
we
eat
don't.
into it. Sometimes
Yes.
people are like, "Oh,
And then
thank
it goes
God,"
too
or "Yay,"
far.
or
And oh god, like the hockey
"Can't
teams.
you see that
So
what's happening?" Yes.
it's wild. So the next one we have on here that we can't stop thinking about is the
This
Seattle
one's recent.
Krakens.
You'll probably know what we're talking
So
about.
the Seattle Krakens is a hockey team, and apparently, like, sports romance novels like blew up last year. I'm still not a sports romance girly. Like, I've read a few, but like contemporary
It
romance
depends.
isn't like, yeah,
Mhm.
contemporary romance isn't my thing.
Go
Like, I
to,
like
yeah.
it, but like if it can happen in real life, I probably don't want to read it. Like, I want to read about vampires and
Yep.
fairies and mermaids.
Shifters. Yep.
Like,
100%.
but anyway, a lot of people are into contemporary romance, specifically sports romance books. And so when those started getting big in 2023, there was a specific TikToker. Her name is Kiera Lewis. And I call her out because this specific person was called out by the team after the fact. But she started making videos about the Seattle Krakens
She got
and
into the
their
locker room somehow, right?
yeah, so she was the one who kinda, like, made it a thing, right? Like, she did that whole, like, crack my back sound to
Mm-hmm.
the hockey team and, like, related it to the books. And so the Seattle Kraken team, TikTok account was leaning into this and was
Yeah,
like,
they were like, this is
"Oh, we're gonna
great.
be on Book Talk. Oh, Book Talk, here's our team. Book Talk this, Book Talk that." And, like, partnered with her and did a whole bunch of stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then people took it too far. And they were, like, catcalling the individual players and, like, sexualizing them on their personal posts. And then
Mm-hmm.
one of the player's wife was like,
You
"This
are
is
sexually
going too
harassing
far."
him
Like,
and we are uncomfortable. Please stop. And then
yes.
everyone jumped on her.
Yes, which again, I see both sides. If you're leaning into it and you're saying, "Book Talk, we're allowing this, run with it. We want you to think that we're hot and sexy and that we're attainable and that you can read about it in your books and then like see it in real life with our team." You agreed to that. But also at the same time, again, Book Talk, y'all are thirsty. Like,
It makes me
I don't
uncomfortable. I don't know like how it went down. So it makes me uncomfortable to think that the team's marketing team like exploited them that way. Like I hope they gave their permission. I don't know, but
yeah.
if they didn't, that's really messed up.
Yeah, and I know it's part of their contracts, right? Like, contracts are usually written up to an
I have
extent
no
where it's like,
idea. Yeah.
you have to make social content for the team, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. There are probably guardrails, obviously, but like you said, hopefully they all agreed to it to be on the business side of things.
Hmm.
But again, y'all are thirsty, and I don't understand why you think it's okay to talk to people like that. Like, I would be very uncomfortable if men
I couldn't,
were commenting on my videos the
I
way that they
know.
comment on, like, these hockey players' videos. Like, I get it. You thought it was okay because they were leaning into it, but consent was taken away, and that's okay too. They didn't consent to it anymore, and then you guys got mad, and you're like, "Oh, what about all the video you make? Oh, now you understand. Don't give them your power. They made a bunch of money off of you, and
Yeah.
now you're mad that they're telling you, okay, you gotta stop.'"
Everyone jumped on that man's wife, and then he had to come on and be like, no, she's right. I'm very uncomfortable. You guys need to stop.
Yes, and
And it
I
was a
think there
mess.
was a again, this I didn't fact check this while I was doing my research, but somebody was saying that the reason why the wife spoke up is because people were commenting on pictures of them with their kids, like inappropriate things about him when it was like a
Ew.
family photo. Again, I can't confirm or deny because I couldn't find the picture. I didn't really do too much digging,
Yeah.
but I can see where she's coming from too as a wife. Like, if my
100%. Yeah.
husband was being subjected to a bunch of thirsty, horny women being like, "Oh, crack my bag." Like,
Oh
I'd
my
be like,
God.
can you please stop? This is my
This
husband."
is really weird. Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Like,
can't.
I think that people need to learn where the line is between, like, fantasy and reality. Like, they're real
Hmm.
people, and
It
obviously
seems to be very blurred sometimes, which confuses me personally.
that's
I don't
why I
know.
don't get into contemporary stuff because 'cause I'm like, you read it and you're like, "Oh, there's a chance that a famous NHL player is gonna fall in love with a random person like me." No, you're deluding yourself, you're delusional. The chances of that happening are, like, less than
Just live
1%.
in the book. Just live in the book.
And I'm saying this as a woman who is also heavily invested in hot men, like, I know there's no chance for me, and that's okay, like,
I've accepted this part of my
stay
reality.
there's never gonna be a time when I'm accidentally gonna bump into a famous athlete out by the concession stand because he's running late for his game, and I'm
And
trying to
he's
get
like,
nachos, and then he accidentally spills all of the nacho cheese all over me, and he's like, "I'm so sorry, let me take you out." That's not gonna happen to you, okay? It's not gonna happen to you. It's not gonna happen to me. Just
And then he
read
looks
about
at
it in
you
your
and you're
book.
like, you're different than the other girls.
You're eating nachos.
You're covered in nacho cheese. And he's like, you're different.
My hair is gonna be in a bun, probably, most likely. Wearing
I'm like
baggy
eating the
jeans.
nacho cheese that he spilled on me. I'm like, yeah, this is great.
I have a large Coke and a hot dog in my hand. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all, but that's not happening in real life.
There isn't a vampire that's going to your school who's
At
going
least when I'm
to.
reading about fairies, I know for a fact
Yeah.
this will never happen. There's no way that I'm going to be shopping at the grocery store and accidentally run into a famous baseball player who's just buying his own groceries. No.
Well, no, I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry for being a hater. I still love everybody.
I do read contemporary romance sometimes, and I have a good time, but
Yeah, some of them are good. I'm not
I have
like
to be in the mood.
I'm not crapping all over like the genre itself. I'm just saying I think that's where the blurred line is because like when you read contemporary romance,
For
you're like,
sure.
"Oh, look at the billionaire CEO fell in love with his secretary." Like
It can happen.
the billionaire CEO has 3 other billionaire brothers who all have different billion-dollar companies who are all going to fall in love with different normal human beings who
He's
are
a mafia
lowly
leader, but
workers.
my love can change him.
Look, it might happen. There's like maybe I'll give you a 1% chance. There's a 1% chance that might happen, but like psychology says that usually people tend to stay in
Yep,
their own lanes, their own
their own
tiers,
lane.
their own little social tiers. But good
It's
luck to
wild
everybody
out
out
here in
there.
these streets.
Good luck getting your billionaire CEO. I hope it happens for
I
you.
mean, yeah, power to you. I snag that man
If you're
or
able to get
woman,
into
that
if you're
person.
able to get into Raya, let us know because I want to know those stories. Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me. You have written down on here the guy who had the manic pixie e-girl thing. That was our next
I
topic.
think that was also last year in 2023, but I'm not
Which I forgot
100%
about until
sure.
I read these notes and I was like, holy shit, that did
So
happen.
basically, this story is about a man named Nate Lemick. I think that's what his full name is, his author name.
Mm-hmm.
On TikTok, he's Nate Lemick Reads. I don't know if his account is still there. And his Instagram is now private, so you can't see any of the posts that people were like calling him out for. But it all started
Of
because
course.
he made a whole series saying that he wanted to read more women authors and he was going to read
I need
all
to
of the
expand
like
my horizons.
yeah, he was going to read like best-selling women authors until his book got to the top of the New York Times bestseller list, which in and of itself is problematic. People were like, "I'm sorry, you're using women's books to get yourself on the New York Times bestseller list. You're not
You
reading these to help
cis
them
white
get
man.
on the New York Times bestseller list. Like you're not just
Mm-hmm.
like hyping women up because you love women. You're just doing it as a marketing ploy
For
for
yourself.
yourself." And so people were calling him out, being like, "Bro, what are you doing? What's your problem?" And then he started getting upset and being pissy and posting videos like, "All of the bullies and mean girls came after me and tell me if I'm wrong. What do you think?" And people were like, "You're already starting off on the wrong foot. Like, come on." So then we go a little deeper. People are like going onto his page and they find out what his book is, and he named his book Manic Pixie E-Girl. So
Red flag.
that's the title of his book. And
Ugh.
people read it and they were like, yeah, it's what you would expect. And his Instagram was like full of red flags of like art of women in like
I saw some crazy videos that
sexual
are, yeah,
poses and just he just seemed like an icky man. And I guess all of his stuff went to private. He deleted the videos. I think you could probably still find them on TikTok, but that was another big why is everybody trying to be a book talker, book influencer, writer moment? Like
and just
you're a
expanding
white
that
man.
out, like men do that so often too. We have that written down on our notes, but it kind of connects, like men who use women authors like for content to boost
Yes. or
I don't
just
know.
the
It's always
the
SJM, and
women
it's always like
audience.
Reese or
Yes,
Tamlin or whatever.
yes,
But there are other ones too, but
they exploit the reader base because they know that they're going to get attention easily from all of
mhm.
these people, readers, the fan base. And so there's two in particular, and I didn't get their at handles, their TikTok handles, but I'm sure if you are on
If
TikTok
you're
and
on
you
the book
own
talk
Fandom, you'll know
yeah.
exactly who I'm talking about. But there's two in particular. There's one dude, he has like a chiseled jaw, like black hair, kind of pointy nose, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's Resand. Book talk, look, it's Resand. It's our Resand." And so when people started doing that, all he did was start making videos of him dressed up as Resand with like the purple contacts and the coats and just the pointy ears. And I'm like, this is you're just gonna make this your personality? Like, I don't
Mhm.
have you even read the books? I
I
don't
know.
know what's going on here.
It makes me feel icky in a way that I can't really describe.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
And then the other dude, he's Scottish or Irish, I don't know which one, but he has like curly, wavy, like blondish, reddish hair, and he dresses up like Tamlin. And
Mhm.
he goes from like his normal pose or his normal day to day look, and he'll like swipe and do the transition, and then be like Tamlin with the mask on, and he'll like have the
Yep.
books in his hands, and I'm just like,
That guy kind of tricked me in the beginning because he's kind of funny. So in the beginning I was like, "Oh, you're funny. I can hang." But then it was too much.
yeah,
Like
it just gets me because I mean, I don't know this for a fact. I'm gonna say like I'm 90% sure, but I'm 90% sure that they had never heard of Sarah J. Maas. They've never heard of any of that
haven't read
stuff
any of the books. Yeah.
before somebody was like, "Oh my god, you look like Tamlin." And then he knew that doing that would get him a lot of followers and attention, and then that just like another piece of the book world that just gets taken away from
And
us and
exploited. Yeah.
given to the men influencers of the world or like the TikTok influencers, and now there's like a little less space for the rest of us. Like,
Yeah.
just find your own thing. You don't have to just like lean into this.
And
Nobody's
it's
telling you.
yeah, and it's exhausting because I'm there to genuinely talk about books and I'm there to like genuinely interact about these books that I love, and like y'all come in here and you haven't even read it. You're just trying to get followers. I'm like, I don't know.
Yes, whenever I see, no offense out there, I am a man hater, but I know it's not everybody, just most of y'all.
We are
But
man
like
haters.
whenever I see a dude come out and be like, "The top 5 books I read this year," I'm like, "Skip, I don't care what you have to say. I am 100% skipping your video. Like, I do not care.
I do that too.
Like, I'm trying to read more books, Skip. Talk about it with your boyfriends, not
And
me."
the way that they do the bare minimum and they get all of these likes
And
and all of
everybody's
these
like, "Oh my
follows.
god,
Oh my
it's a
god, a man
boy and
who
he's
read
reading."
romantasy? Holy shit.
Or the
And
dude on his motorcycle that goes to drive to
yes.
Barnes and Noble. He's like, "I'm reading Haunting Adeline. Nobody freaking cares, bro."
I totally know what guy you're talking about too.
Like,
There are so many of those men, like those kind of men that I see, and all of the comments are like, "I need you to say this quote for me," and it's a Reese quote, like "Hello,
oh
Farrah
yeah.
darling" or something. It's always Reese. It's
Yes.
always Reese.
And I'm
And
like,
then
and then like add like the little flares in the background when they say it. Like they have like the music, and I'm just like,
yes,
up,
I
please.
need you to
Delete
stop.
this video now.
It's too much. I can't watch another man be like, "Hello, Farrah darling."
You have a low voice. Wow, whoop de freaking do. Good for you.
Thank you.
Like I can't. It just blows my. I'm like, I'm out here freaking struggling to survive on. But I'm like, I just want y'all to know about the books I read. Like, I just want you to know that Carrie Maniscalco wrote 2 series and only one of them is good. And you're like, no, favorite darling. Like, no, no.
Stop it. I just
I
want
just
to
want
love my books. I just want to talk to my books about people, and I don't know.
I just want to know what fantasy romance series has the most smut, and I don't want a man's opinion on it. I don't want to hear about perky breasts. I don't.
Oh god, don't get me started on the, on the male author. Those are my favorite TikToks, the ones that are like male author quotes. Are like wild as fuck.
I also like no offense to the influencers who like genuinely want to be readers who like started out on one way on the platform and then like oh well I have followers, let's just talk about the books that I'm reading. Like no, just don't. Like I can appreciate that you want to read more, but like nobody wants to hear about it on like let us have our little space. Like
Mhm.
there are I think two TikTok guys who are so funny and I love them. And the one who has the dog, like the dude with like the little mustache.
I think I know who you're talking. Is did he just
I
recently read the Akatar series?
think so. And he like posted,
Yeah.
I finally did it. And then the dude Pearl Mania, I think he also did it.
Did
And
he
he was
do
like,
it?
I think so. I'm not, don't quote me because I'm not 100% sure. But I do know for a fact that there were two
That shocks me, and I don't really know why, but
people on TikTok that were like, "We finally did the thing. We read the fairy porn," and I'm just like, "There's better fairy porn than Sarah J. Maas,
the
guys."
first
Like,
guy, the one with the dog and the mustache, I'm forgetting his handle too, but
he
I
definitely did it right, and he was like,
I liked those videos. I mean, obviously I can very much tell that he's doing it to like reach a new audience and stuff, but he's funny about it and he seemed pretty genuine in his reviews, so I was like, "All right, I don't hate
it's
you. I
just
like you."
it's just like,
But it
why
does
do
kind
it
of
when you know
like
that there are so many other people out there that
it does make me look
you
at
could
him
have
differently now.
instead, you know? Like if
Mhm.
I was like let's use Reese Witherspoon as an example because she has a book club and she only did it so she can make money. Like, y'all
Yeah.
know Reese Witherspoon is not out here reading all these books all year. Like, she was like, hey, I will promote your books, but you have to give me the rights to your books to make it a movie if it does really well. Like,
Mhm.
for X amount of years. And if we don't make it into a movie, then we get to like sell it off to whoever, right?
Is that
Like,
how that works? I don't even know.
yes. So if you do like a Reese's book club like contract, at least when she first started, the whole thing is that you can be a Reese's book club book of the month, but
Mhm.
she gets certain rights to like specific things. Like they have the ability to do X, Y, and Z, right? That's
Okay.
how those partnerships work.
Mhm.
I don't know if things have changed since it's gotten bigger, but I think that's how it started.
Yeah.
Um, so they took Reese Witherspoon, who's just an actress who just has a fan base, and they're like, "Hey, let's get you into the book community and like showcase you as a reader and say like this is what Reese is reading." And it's like instead of using your celebrity to say like, "Look, I'm reading a book now. Book Talk people come follow me." Why don't you just say, "Hey, I saw this Book Talk influencer who is genuinely a reader reading this series. Go check them out." Like you
Yeah.
should watch their videos on this series because this is what got me into reading this series. Like that's the one thing I think that's like genuinely hurtful to the reading community is I love when people say, "Oh, you got me into this book. Thank you so much." But then when they turn around and they go like, "I love this book. I found it." And I'm like, "Okay, but you didn't find it by yourself.
Yeah.
I inspired you. I know I'm not like the only person out there that's a reader, but like sometimes it's nice to have recognition."
Yeah.
Like all of the people who are like, "Okay, fine, you convinced me. I'm finally reading this book." Like, "Okay, well, tell us who those people were." So that
Mhm.
way we can go and like see what their actual reader opinions are because you're not a reader, but like they are. So I care more about what they have to say than what you have to say.
And when you're that big, like you should spread the love around a little bit. Like you don't need
Yes.
the followers. You don't need that.
Yes.
So, help out the little man a little bit. Little
Yes.
person.
Am I being a little bit salty? Yes, I am self-aware enough to realize like if I had a bigger community, maybe I wouldn't care as much. But like at the end of the day,
I like to
stay in
think
your
I would,
lane.
but yeah.
Stay in your lane. But we want to end on a positive note and not just rant about all of the things that sucked about the book community
I mean,
and
we're
what
still here, so obviously
we
like there are
still
good
love
things
to
about it.
read. Yes,
Yeah.
I genuinely do love finding uh like really good recommendations or like indie authors. I think that social media has been amazing
For
for
sure,
indie
yeah.
authors to get their stuff out. I would never have found Lana Parachik and
Mhm.
all of her Faye books and her spicy superhero books. If you want to listen to her episode, we interviewed her and she's amazing.
It
We'll
was
link
really
it.
fun. Yeah.
But I wouldn't have found a lot of indie authors if it weren't for social media. So I will say that.
And if you
Um,
surround yourself with the right people and you follow the right people, like you can get so many great recommendations that just aren't in the mainstream, which is really fun.
Yes, I think that would be my main recommendation is like don't just go for the people who have a big following and a lot of clout and just because they're funny or whatever you're like, "Oh yeah, I'll give that a chance." I would say genuinely try to research and look for people who are diverse, who might not read what you read or who do read what you read and can give you good recommendations or can expand your view on like what kinds of books are good. Like there are people
Hmm.
out there who are going to be able to give you a lot of good recommendations that are not just like Reese Witherspoon or Reese Sand on TikTok or like
Ugh.
Woodchop Guy or Manic Pixie Ego author. Like find some good stuff. There we're all out there.
I just thought of this too, but sorry not to completely go back to shitting on life. But if I see another book being promoted as like the next ACOTAR or like for all the ACOTAR fans or
Yeah.
for all of the Jennifer Armentrout fans, like there are other authors. Oh my God, can we stop making that
Yes.
comparison, please?
Yes. I will say everybody's reading goal for 2024 should be to read more diverse. Loretta and I are also adding this to our list of goals and we are
100%.
choosing diverse authors for our book club picks every month this
I'm
year.
really excited.
So
We have
we're
some good ones
excited.
lined up.
Yeah, we have some really good diverse fantasy romance stuff coming down the pipeline. So join us and we will help you be more diverse. But the list of things of what we can do to help. And this is also just for us because again, my 2023 was not the best. I was hit by like the social media fatigue and the influencer fatigue and all of it and I was like I'm just done. This is too much.
I did too, and I'm not even really in it. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even have that big of a follower count,
There's
and I was
like
like, I
always
need a
drama,
break.
there's always something, and I was just like, I'm done, but I'm back and I'm refreshed, and it's a new year. So what are we doing? What are our goals this year? So number one, read for fun. I think that's always just it's obvious, but sometimes, especially if you're
Sometimes you
trying
need to
to
remind yourself.
yeah, especially if you're trying to post about it and you're out there trying to spread word about your favorite authors and nobody's seeing it. Like at the end of the day, reading is a hobby and an activity you do for fun and to de-stress hopefully. So like just remember in the back at the end of the day, reading is for fun and we're all just here trying to have a good time and reading about all of our fairy lords trying to save the world. Like that's all we want to
Exactly. I just want some broody hot men, okay?
do. um Also, don't be a douche. Like, it's not
Always
that
a
hard
great
to be
rule. That's a
nice.
great life rule.
I feel like if we went into school, it would just instead of like treat others the way you want to be treated,
Don't
no,
be a
just
dick.
don't be a douche. Like that's don't be rude. It's not hard to not be mean. If somebody's being mean to you, fine. If you're a bully, don't be because someone's going to bully you. But like, be nice. Just, you know, do your due diligence, check out the authors and the influencers that you want to follow beforehand and make sure they're not saying mean things to people or, rate bombing other people's books before their debut.
Oh my
Before their
God.
debut book came out.
That I forgot about that. That was wild. That just
This
happened.
recently happened. So like somebody's gonna call you out. So just be nice, like if you don't agree with somebody, walk away unless they're being like racist or something, then obviously you could call them out. But that's it.
Do your
Be nice.
research.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be a
Research,
dick.
support other people, like be nice, start a community. That's it. YOLO.
Yo-
I age my I age
YOLO.
myself age myself with that one.
I know. It's okay. I'm right there. I think I just said that in our text messages the other day. YOLO.
Also, one thing that I'm trying to follow this year is just do your own social media and make it for yourself. Like, yes,
That one's
if you
hard
want your
sometimes to
pictures to be
remember, but
pretty, but
mhm.
it's just for you. Like, if you enjoy posting pictures of yourself because it makes you happy, do it. Who cares what anybody else says? Post
Mhm.
Disneyland pictures. Post your smutty alien romance pictures. Like, if that's what you're into. Not for me. Ice Planet Barbarians, not a thing, but
We do love a good alien romance, depending, but not,
Some of
yeah.
them are good, yeah. I will say that.
Or
Like
monster romance.
your
Yeah,
monster
there's some good
slut,
ones.
do it.
Lean
Like you
into
want to
it.
do a funny dance video? Sure, why not? Just make sure it's for yourself because that's going to burn you out really quickly and I am speaking from experience. So, that's
Yeah,
something
that
you can
one's hard to
always do.
remember sometimes, but an important rule. I
Yeah.
learned this lesson when I was blogging and I got arc obsessed. I need all of the arcs and I need to read everything. And then I'm the slowest reader on the planet and I couldn't keep up. And now I'm like, what were you
That's
doing?
always the problem. Like
What are you
you start
doing?
it because you're like, I want free books, and then they start sending you stuff, and you get so overwhelmed, and you're like,
What have I done?
I can't do this. It's too much. Like, please just stop. Make it stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am overwhelmed with the amount of things that I get, and I know that's like first world problem. Like, I know people don't get anything, but just remember, again, it's like
Well, you just
for
have to remember
you.
why you started doing it in the first place, you
Yes,
know?
make a list of goals. Also, good to know because I know people always ask me, like, oh my God, how did you get that copy? Like, I've been wanting that book, blah, blah, blah. Just know that, like, there's no harm in reaching out to anybody that works at a book publishing company. There's no harm in DMing a
Yeah,
small
just to
pub
email
on
them or
Instagram.
something.
Find Go on LinkedIn, find somebody who works there, send them an email if they have their email public. Don't like stalk them and spam them. But like if there's publicly available information on their website or like Instagram messaging, like
Sometimes
you
there are
have
forms you
no
can fill out.
yeah, they have influencer forms. Like you never know, you might get lucky and they might send you something like if you're really passionate about
If
an
they have
author
your info, sometimes you
or a
never know.
book. Like I have been fortunate enough to get some of my favorite authors like early copies, but that's only because I was the one who went out of my way to like make it happen. So just know that you don't have to have a big following, you don't have to do anything crazy. Just go out there and just talk about how passionate you are about that book or that author or like why you're so excited and why you would love to have a copy and maybe some magic will happen. Like you never know, but don't be afraid to try. That's the goal of 2024. Like put yourself out there. Don't be afraid of not hearing back or hearing like, oh, sorry, we don't have any early copies or we only have a limited amount. Like, there's always next time. And that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that you're not worthy enough of posting or reading or whatever. Like,
It
your
means the
moment will happen.
publishing industry is effed up and we need a whole
Yeah,
new
it's because
episode on that.
COVID ruined everything. And then last is make new friends. I think I got away from that. Like I have my small group of book friends, Loretta included, and I kind of like close myself off from meeting new people, but I think that's always the goal, right? Is like meeting new people, talking about your favorite books, having fun and like
Mm-hmm.
getting excited and them sharing what they love and you know, being able to learn new things. So, get yourself out there. Send that
Book
message.
nerds?
Make a comment.
Book nerds make the best friends, so
Loretta and I started talking because I said, "Oh, I like that picture that you made with your face on Thor," and
oh yeah. Yeah, you
and
DM'd me on when Twitter was used to, Twitter
yeah,
used to be fun and back in the day. And you
yes,
DM'd me and you were like, "Hey,
yep.
you were like, "Can I have your phone number? I promise I'm not creepy."
And well, look at us. We have a podcast and we
Paul Rudd,
text,
look at us. Hey, look at us.
and now we talk about stupid stuff together. So this could be you. So leave us a comment, message us, come talk to us. We want to be
Come on
friends.
our Discord.
Yes, come hang out. We'll be there. But yeah, we hope that I think that's it. You have anything else you want to add?
That's pretty. Yeah, I'm done ranting for today. I think.
So hopefully next month this won't be as long because we won't have as many hopefully things to share of the world in books.
Yeah, we just
Um
covered like 3 or 4 years of drama
of
in
new
one.
things. Hopefully we don't have a lot of drama to talk about. Maybe there will be fun stuff, but like come back at the end of every month hopefully to hear a recap of all of the happenings in the book world. You can come hang out with us on Discord. We have a Discord for people to come make friends, talk about their social channels, their books they're reading, our book club of the month if you're reading that with us. We're also on all of the socials, Instagram, Facebook,
All of them.
TikTok, Threads, everywhere at Emo Girls Guide. And yeah, we're reading Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong this month, so check it out.
Yay!
come hang out with us in Discord, and
Shakespeare
we'll
retelling.
we'll
What?
have that for you. We'll be talking about that soon. So hopefully you're interested in that, and if not, then we'll see you next week.
Yep. Catch the next one. May your day be blessed with main character energy, everybody.
Main character energy. Woohoo!
Woohoo!